everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I'm so excited to have you here. My name is Chika Samuels, and I'll be your fertility coach and lifestyle coach in this very, very exciting program. And I'm so excited to choose to be here because everything we're going to be sharing in this few days is going to be dense with value and they are going to be life transforming. So we're discussing what is fibroids, how does it impact my fertility and my wellness, what can I do to prevent it if I don't have it yet, maybe they are still small, and how can I remove the obstructions it's causing to fertility. And maybe you're just here for awareness, and you probably want to get married soon, or you are engaged and you're feeling the symptoms, and you're planning to get married soon and start having children soon. I just want to know what you can do to improve your chances, and get ready to bear children. So you are at the right place, and this is a warm welcome. So cut right into the chase. We need to start with the foundations. You need to understand what fibroids are, how do they impact your wellness, your well-being, and your lifestyle and your fertility, so that you can approach them, appropriately. So let's start with the basic definitions. So fibroids are non-cancerous growths. They are found in almost half of the percentage of women of reproductive age have fibroids. They occur in numbers and in batches. So they don't occur in isolation, and they grow when they are not attended to and when they are feeding on the things that enable them. So it's very common. So if you have been diagnosed with fibroids, there's no need to be alarmed. I overcame fibroid for years, uterine fibroids, when I started learning about them and applying the right tools, and I had my baby with uterine fibroids. Yes, but they were really big and they were obstructing fertility. But when I started applying the tools that I'm going to be sharing with you in this program, I was able to disenable the growths and have the space that my baby needed to grow instead of having fibroids grow there. So let's talk about the most common symptoms of fibroids. One of the most common is the menses lasting longer than usual. So if you're bleeding outside of your regular menstrual cycle days, like you used to bleed for 3-4 days, now you're bleeding for 5-6-7 days, or maybe 8 days. These are one of the very frequent symptoms. Of course, there are other conditions that can also cause these symptoms, but this particular one is extremely common with uterine fibroids. So abnormal bleeding in some types of fibroids may cause bleeding than others. In most cases, excess blood loss from symptoms of fibroid may lead to fatigue, anemia, and lots of iron vitamin. So another common symptom is abdominal cramping and bloating. You're feeling bloated even when you've not eaten much, and you're feeling cramping, especially just before your menstrual cycle or during your cycle, because uterine fibroids can really be very painful. And although experiencing pain is most common with larger fibroids, So, and this will vary with intensity and frequency from one woman to the other. It ranges. Some people feel it mildly, and as the fibroid grows, it grows in intensity of pain and severity. So another very common symptom is painful intercourse. Fibroids can cause pain during sex, which may impact your intimate relationships, and you're dreading sex because it's very painful. And for some people, they may even bleed after sex. And there are cases of pelvic pain and lower libido because of these hormonal imbalances. So some of the signs that you could look out for to know that your menstrual cycle is abnormal is the length of time. The length of time. If the cramping lasts the entire time of your period or continues even when the period is done, these are things to look out for. When you're using over-the-counter medication to relieve the pain and it's not working, or you're intensifying, you used to take maybe mild analgesics, now you have to go for a higher grade, because of the pain. You're feeling nausea, migraine, dizziness. It becomes difficult to manage. You can't sleep properly. You're cramping, it disrupting your sleep cycle, leading to exhaustion. Or the menstrual cycles are accompanied with heavy periods that last, more than 7-8 days. These are, common signs that your periods are abnormal. Yeah. So some of the fibroid symptoms, like I mentioned, is heavy bleeding between your periods, and this often comes with blood clots. Blood clots are like cervical mucus, but bloodish, reddish. Yeah, they come in blood samplings. Then pain in your pelvis and your lower back, increased menstrual cramping. If you're experiencing urinary frequency, always wanting to go to pee, even though you're not peeing much or you're not drinking so much water, because the fibroids are impressing in your uterus, yeah? And you're experiencing pain during intercourse, like I mentioned, lengthened menstrual cycle, and the bloating feeling and the pressure on your lower abdomen. So I'll look at two uterine fibroids pictures. Look at this one first. You would see some negligible fibroid growths. You can see this black one on the tube. It's not really a big deal. Okay, these are not obstructing, the position is not obstructing conception, and they can be handled and intervened with. And this is in contrast with this picture. You can see that the fibroid masses are big, and you can see this one here obstructing the fallopian tube passage, and this is in contrast with the previous one we saw. So let's talk about how fibroids affect your fertility. Fibroids can cause difficulty getting pregnant by obstructing the fallopian tubes, like we have seen in the previous picture, and preventing fetal implantation if you're vying for IVF, or causing placental dysfunction. Okay, they can also tend to grow during pregnancy because they are struggling for the same food sources and nutrients like your baby. Okay, and this can cause maternal pains, bleeding, and abnormal fetal positioning in the womb. Fibroids can cause preterm delivery, okay, and the need for C-sections when they can be prevented. Okay, so these are some things that I want to bring to your attention, and let's talk a little bit about how fibroids and fertility are interrelated. Infertility due to fibroids depend on where your fibroids are growing. So many women with uterine fibroids go on to get pregnant, okay, while others face difficulties. For example, if you have submucosal fibroids, this could disrupt implantation and embryo growth, even in IVF or ICSIs. And this can lead to loss of pregnancy even when conception has been confirmed. Also, if the fibroids are growing enough, they are growing large enough to, they can change the shape of your uterus. And these are cases where you see people looking pregnant when they are not pregnant. And the presence of these fibroids can also hurt your chances for IVF as well. So it's the right choice that you have made to take care of them before, attempting conception. Yeah. So let's discuss a little bit about how fibroids also causes infertility. It does this by 5 major ways. First, it changes the shape of your cervix, which allows less sperm. So you see a lot of women, the sperm pours out more than it should when they stand up after sex, because the fibroid is not allowing the sperm quantities to go in as much as it should. It also changes the shape of the uterus that blocks the movement of the sperm on the embryo. It could also be blocking the fallopian tube. These are all ways that it can cause infertility and disrupt implantation from happening as it should. It could also be impacting the size of your cervix, your uterine cervix, and it could also reduce blood flow to the uterine cervix, which then does not allow the embryo to implant properly. Okay, so these are the ways that why fibroids is a problem when it has to do with fertility. I look forward for us to make progress and the aha moments that are going to be getting from sharing these moments with you. Till if you have further questions and you need further clarifications, we'll discuss more in class. Till we meet next time, keep living healthy and keep giving the world your best.